In 2004, a South African filmmaker, Marth Vicente, made What the Bleep Do We Know? The story revolves around a photographer who caught her spouse cheating and is triggered by weddings. The main character embarks on a journey into her mind where, using the power of quantum thought, she was able to create her own reality. And guess what? So can you. The film was an independent phenom that, with the help of the target marketing and strategic screenings, made almost 16 million worldwide. Note, it also served as free advertising for an entirely different guru-led organization, Ramtha's School of Enlightenment, which is still going strong in Yelm, Washington. Not as insidious as NXIVM, but it's definitely weird. When Barbara Boucher, still a celebrated businesswoman, enrolled several well-touted scientists who appeared in Mark's film, Mark Vicente really wanted to know more. He reached out to her and booked himself into the next symposium. Keith and Nancy sat Barbara down and explained to her that she would not be attending this session, despite her efforts, because she was, quote, in an ethical breach with Keith, unquote. That breach was that she disliked how his new girlfriend and he would punish her and other members if they disagreed. And she would often point out how flawed Keith's business plans and other things were. This made Keith want to drive a wedge between Barbara, his clever ex-girlfriend, and the rest of NXIVM, especially Sarah and Claire Bronfman. The symposium never happened. But who did Keith blame? Barbara and her bad karma. What he didn't know was that Jan Bronfman, Edgar Jr.'s new wife, was close to Dr. Kapta, one of the scientists, and they warned him about NXIVM's cult-like ways. But Mark Vicente had been bitten. He wouldn't let go of NXIVM so quickly. His film had struck, especially on the New Age cinema circuit, through which Sarah Edmondson was brought into the organization after she had met Mark on a cruise. Sarah was a driven, spunky brunette trying to make it as an actress, and when she got it, about 5 days in, NXIVM became her life. Things started going very well for her. She went to more auditions, she got off her sleeping pills, and really felt like she was the causing agent in her life, rather than just at the whim of the world. She was compelled to open a new center in Vancouver, directed towards young, aspiring actors. One of these actors was Nikki Klein, Canadian-born and recruited into NXIVM around 2006. She played Callie Henderson Tyrell, Battlestar Galactica series, and her role was so popular that she went from an occasional appearance to a full-time role. Although she was under contract and at the very height of her popularity, Nikki was encouraged to quit acting by Keith and work for a higher cause, and she seemed to gladly comply. For an actor struggling in the industry, ESP NXIVM claimed to focus on confidence and validation. Many others became involved, some for a few days and some for life. Rick Ross, our very own cult Batman, says, "What they saw at first blush was, this is about you. This is about helping you to be a better person. And more than that, this is about creating a more ethical society. This is about making the world a better place." The acting industry was replete with insecurity. These NXIVM meetings seemed to break through the facades. There was an intimacy that a lot of people had not felt for a long time, if ever, and Keith Raniere fed on it. He would find what those insecurities were, and he would drill down into them and crack people open, and then basically say, look, I'm the answer. I can make you a greater success. I can give you the tools to ensure your future success, and I can give you meaning. Because Raniere really wanted those productive people with A-type personalities, just like Nancy Salzman, he needed people to perform for him, to run the business, and to bring their social network of fans, and of course, their money, to his step. Tom Cruise has long been the savior of Scientology. He brought in John Travolta, who brought in Kirstie Alley, who brought in more actors, and it was on and on. Rick Ross also says it's a very well-known social psychology principle that people who are famous have more power because people want to identify with them. In other words, the ordinary people were dazzled by the celebrity endorsement. And just like Tom Cruise for Scientology, Mark Vicente and Sarah Edmondson proved to be excellent recruiters, getting a kickback from the fees. It was Consumer's Byline all over again. Smallville aired in October 2001, approximately 1 month after 9/11, and took the whole world by storm. Tom Welling plays a young Superman who doesn't know his full potential and is just trying to fit in at high school. Proving to be a breakout hit for the CW, it was the first of a string of shows that followed and are still airing to this day. It starred a young, energetic cast like Kristen Crook, Michael Rosenbaum, Laura Vandervoot, and notably Allison Mack, whose Chloe Sullivan, a pre-Lois Lane type, became a total fan favorite. The Smallville connection to NXIVM started with Kristen Crook's boyfriend at the time, Mark Hildreth. He was the one who brought her into the organization in 2006. Whatever she has said since, at the time, she absolutely thrived. At the height of her Smallville stardom, while her character Lana Lang tormented poor Clark season after season, Kristen started Girls by Design with Kendra Voth.
I think that women have so much to offer the world, and I want to catch them at that age where they're just starting out, just building themselves, have challenges. They want to be encouraged to have responsibilities and to go and create without judgment.
Kristen and Kendra still meet with the original Girls by Design.
We are looking to you guys first, of course, and who might want to be involved in that.
Yeah.
And they have nothing but praise.
All about girls empowerment and women power, and what girls right now are generation can do for the world.
The rumors now are that Keith was desperate to bed Kristen. He never got the chance. He did, however, get hidden camera footage of her getting changed and using the bathroom somehow. Nancy Salzman and her daughter Lauren, however, had their sights on spunky, adorable Chloe Sullivan and flew to Vancouver, British Columbia to recruit Crook's Smallville co-star Allison Mack. The younger Salzman, Lauren, herself a junior in the NXIVM leader and one of Keith's side pieces, bonded with Mack and became her main coach. To Allison, this place was a dream. Finally, the appreciation she deserved. Mack introduced her entire family and anyone she worked with to NXIVM and would for years to come. It's no wonder she enjoyed her experience. Both of the Salzman love-bombed her. Mack attended the first meeting in 2006. The event was a 2-day introduction to Jeunesse. Then Allison flew on a Bronfman private jet to Albany to meet Keith Raniere during one of his weekly volleyball games. This sort of instant contact was unheard of. No one saw the Vanguard that quickly, truly. Mack was the Tom Cruise of NXIVM. You can see this conversation in The Vow. There's this point where Raniere tells her that her art and how passionate she feels about it meant nothing in the larger scheme of things, a crushing idea for a young actress. And you can even see her despair at his words. Now, to get a bit personal here, the fact that Allison Mack became caught up in a cult around the same time I was leaving the one I was raised in is mind-boggling. Smallville was one of my favorite shows at the time, my safe place as I escaped from my own irrational fear and decided to leave. When the whole world found out about NXIVM in 2018, my heart went out to her because of what I've been through. Today is November the 6th, 2020, and she has yet to receive her sentence for her involvement. But I sincerely hope Allison Mack has a chance to live a normal life again and try to recover from the mind control.
Because it's pointing at something I've never thought about. And a part of me is kind of freaked out about accepting this.
Smallville was in its 5th season at the time, and after meeting Raniere, Allison broke the bank to enroll in more intensives. She rapidly leveled up in the ranks and opened an organization called The Source. The curriculum draws upon Raniere's rational inquiry method of self-improvement. If you remember, it was a blueprint for bullying and arbitrary punishments. Because NXIVM was more of a pyramid scheme than a hippie commune, there were close to 60 different organizations, like The Source, under the umbrella. Juicy Peach, a nonprofit created by Kristen Crook and her boyfriend Mark Hildreth, was another. Allison Mack and her boyfriend, Chad Krochuk, were co-founders also, aiming at young artists. Then Acapella Innovations.
What I realized is that no one actually introduced us. And I know that I need no introduction, but these two girls are on this really abstract, random show they film in Canada. It's called Small Port.
Small land.
Small bird.
Smallish. Yeah. Smallish. Anyway, that's not why we're here, right? We're here because we love acapella.
Billed as a university singing showcase, co-hosted by Crook, Mack, and Nikki Klein. It was targeted at younger audiences and recruiting in sororities. Jeunesse, the program that enticed so many, was like the mother sprouting offspring, and Rainieri's new crop of ladies were looking promising.
The most gratifying thing that I've ever done. It's the most challenging thing I've ever done because it consists of working with a group of people in a way that is totally interdependent, meaning we're all working together and no one is ever punished and no one is ever told that they're wrong or they're bad. And
Mark Vicente was still a builder of stories and images. He went straight to work with Keith on promotional videos and documentaries, sometimes being chided for his work if it happened to feature someone else more than Keith. He met Bonnie Pice, an Australian-born singer and actress known for her role as Aunt Beru in Star Wars. Not this one, this one. Of all the people featured in HBO's recent documentary series, The Vow, Bonnie seemed to have the most grounded view of things. She actually woke up to the issues far earlier than most of the other people. However, when she and Mark were married in 2007, they were still entrenched in ESP beliefs and working their way up the SASH ladder. Even as women were seemingly thriving in jeunesse, Mark was compelled to have a program for the men in similar fashion. Keith quickly came up with the concept of SOP, the Society of Protectors. Sounds nice, right? A celebration of that which is inherently male, carry the groceries, go off to war, stay in the boat last. In truth, Keith used it as a means to preach that aggression and infidelity were what a man was entitled to. To the women who choose to come to an SOP meeting, he would open the session with, "Do you know why we hate you? We think you're obnoxious, whiny, punishing brats." Ultimately, he would reveal what he felt, that women use sex to control men, a statement from this, a man who was 20 years deep on running a harem. You can see a portion of Keith's reasoning on HBO's The Vow, but what seemed to hit deepest was the part when he said, "Little boys want to be held and loved by their mothers, to be protected. But that's not allowed for little boys." I recall that Karen Untereiner, who knew Keith best around the time when his mother died, was always explicitly clear that he changed after that event forever. Oh yes, Karen was still around, and Barbara Boucher, Kristen Keefe, Nancy Salzman, of course, and the gullible Bronfman sisters, along with 8 other notable women who would soon become notorious in NXIVM. Wherever Keith was, Pamela Kafritz was also. She, in fact, co-founded Jeunesse. It was her baby. No one really came as close as she did. She was Rainieri's handler, his secret lover, and even in the glistening celebrity-endorsed time, she was a shadow in the most insidious of Keith's crimes.